Welcome to the revision session for Multicultural Society as part of the Religion and Citizenship module. One of the big issues to look at is the idea of religion and politics. Now we look at Christians, many were involved in politics in the UK. For example, the previous Prime Minister, Tony Blair, was a strong Christian, and many people who are involved in Parliament have religious views. Some Christians believe that they shouldn't mix. A famous quote from the book of Luke is, "Then give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." That means let the government do what they need to do and don't interfere. When it comes to Islam, in many countries there are Muslim political groups in charge. These are called theocracies when a religious group is in charge. An example of this is Iran. In the UK, there has been an increase in Muslim members of Parliament. That means Muslims in our government. However, until recently, there wasn't a separate Islamic political party. Now there is, the Islamic Party of Great Britain. They don't have a large proportion of the votes because Muslims are still a very small percentage of the UK. Another two things you need to know about is state religion and blasphemy laws. The official religion of a country is known as the state religion. In the UK, this is the Church of England. It doesn't mean that everybody follows that religion, just that that's the official religion of the country. Blasphemy laws, these mean that you can't say insulting or harmful things about the Church of England. This may seem strange that it doesn't protect other religions, but because the state religion of the UK is Church of England, that is why it is the one that is protected. There's a lot of questions asked about why do people come to Britain. Please, whatever you do, don't say for the dole. The real things to talk about are economic reasons, the fact that there's actually better money here and opportunities for jobs, the idea of tolerance, respect and freedom, because our country is famous around the world for that. Also the idea of escaping from a war. Not everybody wants to live in a war zone. If that's the case, they're going to try and escape and go somewhere else. Ours is one of the countries that offers refuge for people who are in desperate need from around the world. Another big issue is the idea of immigration. A lot of the positive arguments that religions come up with are to do with asylum seekers. That's people who need to find somewhere safe to go. A quote from Jesus is, "Love your neighbour as yourself." This comes from the book of Mark. This means that you should treat everybody well. That means asylum seekers, immigrants, even people you don't like, you should just be nice to everyone. That means that they would be kind and helpful to immigrants. Muslims also want to support people who are immigrants and who are in need. A quote from the Quran is, "And whoso does good works, whether male or female, and he is a believer, such will enter paradise." That means if a Muslim helps someone in need, for example an asylum seeker, or someone who's being picked on for any reason, if you're looking at the human rights topic, Allah will reward them. You also need to know about religious festivals. For Christians, we've got Christmas. It's the birthday of Jesus, so it celebrates when he was born. Families often get together. There are religious services held in churches and an exchanging of cards and gifts. Explain those with a sentence or two about each one if they ask you about this, and you should get your marks. Eid-ul-Fitr is the biggest celebration for Muslims. It's the festival at the end of Ramadan, the month where they don't eat during sunlight hours. Eid cards are given, people wear their best clothes, they give money to charity, and they have special meals together. If you can also turn these into sentences, you should get your marks for explaining what Muslims do to celebrate. They also may ask you to tell us about faith communities. An example we're giving is the Bolton Christian Community Cohesion Project. It's a bit of a mouthful. It basically brings lots of different religious groups together. They go to the local churches and they offer a forum to share ideas, best practice and access to funding and volunteers. It's basically a cross-faith religious organisation, but founded by Christians originally.